Michael was an African American living in the southern United States during the 1860s. The Civil War lasted from 1861 to 1865 in the debate over slavery. President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, the document that granted freedom to slaves like Michael. Emancipation derives from emancipate, meaning to free from restraint. With the war ending in 1865, the victor being the North, it was now time to rebuild the South, in a period known as Reconstruction. The Reconstruction era lasted from 1865 to 1877, as the period where the South was to reconstruct or rebuild itself both economically and socially. Michael and his family were now free. What exactly did free mean? Black oppression was at an all-time high. Michael was constantly intimidated and abused. Freedom for him was still filled with fear. Hate groups such as the Ku Klux Klan began to take shape in this era. This group of prominent white Southerners used scare tactics to make Michael's life miserable. These men justified their actions of violence by claiming they were doing God's work to restore the pride of the white man. Lynching was one form of such abuse. Lynching is the illegal means of execution for a presumed crime. Lynching often resulted in the public hanging of African Americans without trial. Another means of black oppression was segregation. Segregation, or separation, means to separate different racial groups in a community, country, or establishment purely based on discrimination. Michael was separated from his fellow white townsmen in church, on train cars, in restrooms, and other public places. Some places even refused Michael's service altogether. It was at this time that Michael was fed up with this oppression. He began speaking out against the injustice he had witnessed. The government itself was also looking to fix the problems at hand. They instituted a series of Reconstruction amendments to the Constitution to help push equality in the newly formed Union. Amendment means to amend or fix what isn't working to its full extent, such as making amends for a wrongdoing. The 13th Amendment finalized the end of slavery in the United States. The 14th was arguably the most important. This amendment stated that all born or naturalized men in the United States were granted equal protection under the law, regardless of race. The 15th Amendment granted Michael the right to vote, regardless of his race, and although ballot boxes were still segregated, his voice could now be heard through election. Oppression didn't stop altogether for Michael after these amendments, but it was a welcome start.